Hello, everyone. My name is Michael C. Bush. I'm the Global CEO at Great Place to Work, and we have a special treat for you today. I'm joined by two remarkable people that are leading a remarkable organization that you're going to enjoy learning about. And that organization is DHL. And so I'm joined today by the CEO of DHL Express, John Pearson, and I'm joined by Regine Buettner, the Executive Vice President, HR Global of DHL Express. So first of all, John, I just want to congratulate you on being the CEO of the company that we just announced a little while ago as being #2 on the world's best list. The world's a pretty big place. A lot of companies would love that distinction. You've earned it. How does that feel?
Well, it feels amazing, and thanks for starting off with that question, actually, Michael. It feels amazing. Just to be a great place to work feels amazing, for sure, because that's so much in itself a great place to work. But to be #2, having come up the rankings from 8 to 6 to 4, and to be #2 is just the best news we could have ever got that day. And I just put some context, well, who was it the best news for, John? Well, it was the best news for 110,000 plus people, because I say this is an award won by the people, sort of for the people. So if you imagine a podium, an Olympic podium, everyone is on the gold, well, the silver to be precise, everyone is on the silver ledge, all holding hands and sort of shoulder to shoulder on this silver ledge, because what I really didn't want, and no one was doing this, but what I really didn't want was the senior leaders and the executives high-fiving each other and say, we won this award. No, everyone being so global, and your organization working in so many of these countries, 60 or so, meant that everyone won the award. And then who's the beneficiary? Well, everyone is the beneficiary. As I say, if it says it on our building in Dubai, 5-time winner of Great Place to Work, then great. But when the guy walks in, sees it in the lobby, when he walks through the lobby, he or she walks through the lobby, they've got to experience it inside the building at their first day to work, on their 100th day at work, and on their 365th day at work. So that's what we're really focusing on, making sure it's in the fabric of our company and continues to be deeper in the fabric and not just on the wall outside. But thanks for asking. It was a great day, and quite honestly, we're still reverberating a little bit from that news.
Well, you've earned that reverberation, and a perfect example about being a people-first company, which we're going to share more with our listening audience. And as you say all the time, when you take care of your people, they take care of your customers. Which is, that's the ultimate score. Are you delighting your customers? You created a culture that's doing that every day. And I know something about DHL, but a few things. But I'd like you to take some time for the audience. I just don't think people really understand the scope and scale of DHL, the company that I call the most global company in the world. So if you could take a moment to help us understand what the 110,000 plus people do and how they do it.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it feels pretty good, for Regine and I being on the team of the most global company in the world right now. And I say that with a thought of humanity, in the sense that right now, not right now, but our purpose statement has been for 5, 6, 7 years plus, connecting people and improving lives. And right now, because we are the most global company in the world, we're able to connect people and improve lives during COVID. So it feels especially special, actually, to be so global as we are and help people. And we'll come later probably to talking about trade. But yeah, what we do, we're founded in 1969, and I'll be very brief on this, but moving documents from over your neck of the woods, San Francisco to Hawaii, the trading vessel was in berth in Hawaii, and bills of lading and documentation had to be moved to Hawaii to allow the ship to pull out of berth, move on with its journey, and not be charged demurrage charges. And that's how we started in 1969. And now we're a network of 220 countries with a number of major hubs and sub-hubs that allow this sort of hub and spoke system to mean that a shipment from Invercargill in southern New Zealand gets through to Edinburgh in Scotland in the matter of a couple of days. But what facilitates that, and that's why our purpose is so strong with Great Place to Work and being a great place to work, is our people. Because the people in Invercargill, right at the bottom of New Zealand, do everything to make sure that that pickup is facilitated in the right way, and that package, and any package, is important as the next package. We don't say that the packages between London and New York are more important than the ones from New Zealand to Scotland. Everything is important, but it's our people that facilitate the movement of that express package, time definite international, from New Zealand to Edinburgh in a couple of days, a couple of working days, and allows someone to take receipt of their e-commerce gift for Christmas, or their drawings for an architecture drawings, or their parts for an oil rig. And that's really what we do, and we spread organically round the back of the world, I like to say. You know, when we started in San Francisco, some of the first countries we got into, it's interesting for our listeners today, I hope, was Fiji and, Papua New Guinea and the Pacific Islands, and then New Zealand and Australia. And if you can imagine that line going around, by 1976, we had pretty much covered everywhere to Hong Kong, and then we're in Europe. And in the space of 10 years, we'd pretty much gone around the world. And we were becoming a really global company, and that then continued to fill in our white spots, and we are in 220 countries today. And if anyone is in more, please ring me, because we'd love to celebrate that with you.
Okay, John. And just thinking about that every single day, just always on, a business that never closes. Very complex, moving, documents and packages all around the world. Sounds very, very like a miracle that happens every day. That your people make it so. And then I just want to go back to, as though that's not hard enough. We go back to, say, January, February of 2020, where it became apparent that something was happening in the world. The something that became COVID-19. And if you can walk through your experience as a global leader of learning that something was happening, how it was beginning to affect your people, and the kinds of things that you thought about and your team thought about to make sure you were taking care of your people, so that they could take care of a world full of people who were kind of, each day the fear level was going up. But if you could just help us through the leadership of you and your team through this unprecedented experience.
Yeah, and wow, looking back on it, it's just amazing thinking about it. On January the 25th, which is, or January the 24th even, which is my birthday, I got a call from Dongming in China saying that he and his team probably shouldn't join the leadership meeting we were having in Abu Dhabi in the early part of February because of the virus. So I knew about it. It didn't surprise me that he called me, but everyone else in the organization was ready to go to Abu Dhabi, and to Abu Dhabi we went. And it's amazing how things happen around you, and you've got to be so alert. The talk in Abu Dhabi was not so much about the COVID, and it was, perhaps the only week of the year where we could have held that meeting. But then I went to Singapore, I went to Malaysia, and my last trip of the year was to Mexico at the end of, late March. And then it all kicked off. And I think, the first thing we did, Michael, was that we said as a management board, we have to talk regularly. So we set all our management board meetings to 2 times a week. We made some decision-making principles that, is it right for our people? Is it right for the business? Is it right for our customers? And is it right for our brand? And every decision we made, we ran through those questions time and time again, 2 or 3 times, sometimes over 2 or 3 meetings. And then we made our decision. We've got a bit of a philosophy in DHL that a quick decision is a bad decision. I learned that from my old boss, and a lot of thinking and a lot of listening to people is what gives you the best decision. So we made that decision to talk a lot, and I say 4 words: talk, look, react, and communicate. Talk a lot, as I said. When I say look, I mean look around the corner. You know, when we were happy in week 3, thinking, oh, this isn't going too badly, our packages are still moving, you know, it wasn't enough. We had to realize that in 2 weeks later, South Africa would go into lockdown, and we were told that we couldn't necessarily pick up packages, or something would happen in India. So we had to be looking around the corner. Someone mentioned a phrase to me that data a week old is like looking at a cave painting. And it really was, you know, something only 2 days old, 3 days old. You know, everyone was becoming experts, you know, but that data was useless. So talk a lot, look around the corner, react quickly, but not too quickly, and then communicate. And keep this cycle going of talking, looking, reacting, communicating. And yeah, and then we sent, you know, we made sure we were in touch with our people via WhatsApp, via video, via music. Music has always been something that we've used to accelerate and emotionalize our communication with our people. We were putting videos out to the soundtrack of Bridge Over Troubled Water. We were putting videos to the soundtrack of Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And I guess that's how we thought about our people. And Regine, in fact, very early on said, look, we've got to give our people some comfort that in the next 4 to 6 weeks, there we go again, thinking that this may have been over in 4 to 6 weeks, but thinking that the next 4 to 6 weeks, we're not going to furlough everyone has got their job. And then when 4 to 6 weeks came around, we sort of said, look, guys, this is, you know, going forward, period. You know, we're going to keep you working. We're not going to furlough anyone. This is going to be a V-shaped recovery, and double tap, you know, this was a V-shape, and I'm so fortunate that our company was so necessary, and I feel so much for the companies that were impacted badly by a recovery that hasn't even started yet. I think about them all the time. This concept of same storm, different boat is truer than ever. And I guess those are the key things about how we thought about our people, and realized that not one package was basically going to move unless our people turned up to work with a smile on their face, and absenteeism rates were low, and people were happy and feeling safe working for DHL Express. And that is exactly what they felt, and absenteeism was low, and everyone came and did their job.
And it showed. And Regine, as you know, having lived that story, you know, still living it, what are some of the things that you could share with our audience about, you know, anything else around people and their physical health, people and their mental health, and then their financial health, like assuring them that they wouldn't be furloughed? What kinds of things did you do to give people that sense of security?
I'm always saying you are a great place to work when you take care of your people in, let me say, challenging times, right? So, and this is what we did as a global management team. And as John said, we really put our people safety first, you know. Overnight, really almost overnight, we sent 30,000 people home that they could work from home. I mean, a lot of companies did it as well. But don't forget, we had 7,000 people who are our frontline people. They delivered the packages, right? And we had to protect them as well, yeah? So to keep this motivation going, we really talked a lot to them, communicated via video, find different platforms to talk to them. And one remarkable thing was really that we created a video which was Tap for Your Pride. We clubbed the people in so that we really recognize our people who deliver the shipment so that others could stay at home, right? That was the first thing. So, and we were very proud how much our people were dedicated to their job. So it was really fantastic. But it was also possible because we took away the uncertainty for our people, right? If you don't have to fear about your job, if you don't have to fear about your money, the people recognized how important it is that you work for a great company, and the company also could rely on their employees. And this was really a nice experience, and it even made us stronger to act as one team. Yeah, I mean, we were also and let me say, faced with the challenge how we communicate with our people, because people at home, people are delivering the packages. Yeah, we was thinking about different platforms because we were distant. So we thought about different platforms, how we could communicate with them. So, and then we organized, let me say, recognition events, what we normally do in person, like DHL Got Hard or an appreciation. We did it virtually. So, and we invited even more people to take advantage of a different approach. We invited even the colleagues to celebrate an appreciation weeks with us, or the families to invited to celebrate an appreciation for an employee with us. Then we were lucky, we had introduced a year ago a program is called Fit for Work, Fit for Life. It covers all these well-being aspects. And then we started, you know, using the platforms to organize yoga with a CEO, or a cooking class with a GMB member or a regional board member. We gave advice how they should, let me say, do different things at home if they were interested. We took care of their mindfulness. Yeah? So there were a lot of things. We really were nice to talk to the people, and of course, we also encouraged our leaders to stay very close to their employees, because they had to make sure that the performance are going, and at the same time that the people feel connected and motivated as they would be in the office. And this was a wonderful experience, and we got a lot of very great stories to tell what the managers did, what our people did. It was really fantastic.
You know, Regine, it was fun listening to you just now and looking at John, because John had this look on his face like, wow, we actually did all those things. You know, he had forgotten that all those things had happened. It was just wonderful. He's like, wow, you know, so that was fun to watch. You know, DHL is the only company I know that is so innovative and creative and aware of people, all people and their senses and the thing that connects us, something like music. Knowing this is something that connects all of us, and how you use it. Not every now and then, it's a core part of your DNA to find a way to connect people, to produce a feeling within people, you know, kind of bridge over troubled waters. You know, and, just the creativity to grab it, and you have this culture that connects to it. The way you use "Ain't No Mountain High Enough," you know, which makes every customer feel great and every employee feel great, because you're able to use that to let people know there's nothing you're not willing to do for them. And an example of that, you know, just thinking about, again, 2020 and all of the complexity, if you can explain to people, because you just said it in passing, DHL's Got Heart. What is that? Explain what that is and why you have it, and the kinds of things that does for your people.
We have a nice passion. We say connecting people, improving life. In particular now during the COVID, it was really the perfect purpose. We could explain what we really mean by it. So this DHL Got Hard, it is a program we implemented 4 years ago. 2017 was the first time. So because we had a lot of good stories from our employees, and our company did very well. So we were thinking, how can we give something back to the society? And then we asked our people, because it's nothing more important than to ask your own people what they are doing and what they are doing in their free time. Yeah. So, and then they told us that they support, let me say, children with cancer, people who don't get a medical treatment in a lot of countries. Yeah, we often forget it when we live in, let me say, countries where everything is perfectly organized. And then people who were mentally ill, you know, support them. So there was a lot of great stories. I could go on forever to talk about the stories. And then we said, okay, why do we not organize something around this? So having said this, so we did. We invite every year, in every region, we choose 5 winners, and in every country we have 1 winner, and they get a donation what they can use for their community. So it means a person will get a check what they can give them to the community to do even more for, let me say, this community. So, and this is a perfect, let me say, program. This year we started in September again, even in this challenging time, and we have more than 420 applicants. And I'm telling you, the hardest job is to choose 5 winners for a region. Yeah, we have six regions, to choose the 5 winners for a region, because they almost all stories are incredible, and it's really heartbreaking. And therefore it is so nice, and I'm so proud every year, and not only me, the entire management team is so proud to really recognize our people to do this in their free time.
Yeah, and I've got a chance to see it, and it's there's not a dry eye anywhere, you know, hearing about that. And then just think about the stress that people are under this year. And we all know the only way to really successfully protect our, maintain our well-being is being of service to others, which is exactly, you know, that's what the program does. And you formalized it, you know, which is obviously great for your people and a lot for the listening audience to learn from, and a new and different way of taking care of our people. And, you know, thinking about 220 countries, thinking about people at DHL speaking every language on earth, those formal and informal, and also about creating people leaders, you know, having people moving to leadership roles, in some cases that you've never met because everybody's at a distance. And you have the CIS program, which I call the most for all onboarding program and training development program in the world. John, if you could share with the audience what this is and how you do it, why you do it, which I think is one of the secret of DHL's success.
Yeah, it really is our secret, but it's one of those secrets that we're very happy to talk about and share with any company, because if it helps any company sort of be inspired to be a better place to work, that's great for everyone. So if you can imagine, I'm holding something that looks a bit like a Swiss passport. It's red, it's in my office, it's in my bag every single day, which is just a few yards from me. That's my CIS passport, and that's the passport that says I'm a facilitator. That's the passport that says I'm part of a program. That's the passport that says I've done certain modules and learned about things in DHL. And that CIS program, Certified International Specialist. That's what we do. We are the most international company in the world. So the I is international. And that's just saying everyone that has a passport, and everyone in DHL Express does have a passport, every single person is an international specialist, and that helps us be successful. Many companies have got many great people development programs, and what we feel is just ours is for us, and when someone joins, they bake the cake that way. We have huge respect for every other program that every other company has, but when someone comes into Express, they learn it the CIS way. And the Certified International Specialist program attends to the needs and the behaviors and the learnings of our frontline. There's a supervisory excellence, which talks about the supervisors, as I say, the real pinch in the egg timer. The middle of the egg timer there is the supervisory level. Those are the people that communicate all the information from the top of the organization, you could say, down to the front line, and feed back all the information and requests and requirements and needs and suggestions from the front line up to the top. It's the pinch point. So those supervisory people require great communication skills, great listening skills. It's their first management job, often managing 12 to 20 people, wide span of control, and so on and so forth. So that's really important. And then certified international management is our leaders in the organization. So it's just the thing that keeps us all stuck together, Michael. It's the thing that we're proud about. It's the thing that we can physically symbolize with the passport. And quite frankly, along with a few other things. When I look back, I say to myself, just thank the Lord that COVID didn't happen in 2010. I wish it had never happened, obviously, but as an organization, we were more ready than ever we could have been, given the focus strategy and particularly given certified program and great place to work and a number of other things, 3 or 4 key things that have helped us when February 1, March 23, different dates in different people's minds. It was almost, we had this stuff written and it was just getting on with it.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've seen in the data all around the world is that companies that had high trust cultures, people first cultures in 2019 are doing better than those who didn't in 2020. You know, actually the cultures and your scores as well have gotten better. The scores have gotten better, and we have seen that. And unfortunately, we've seen the opposite as well. But no one ever could have imagined this kind of uncertainty. But you know, this is where purpose pays off. This is where.
Let me just comment, if I can just comment on that, Michael. You know, it was. I learned a lot about trust when I came down to one of your summits there in San Francisco. And the bit I want to say here is that I remember that line that people don't always trust society. They don't always trust their government, but statistically, people want to and do trust the company they work for. So we're highly leveraged on trust. One of the many acronyms in DHL is AIT, which is what we want our leaders to be: accountable for making decisions. I is involved. I want them to be involved. I want them to be interested. I want them to be looking over around the corner and say, hey, what's that? Can I have a look at it? Can you tell me about this program or whatever? And T, trust. In the simple sense of the word, it's a complex topic because it depends who's giving the trust and who's asking for the trust. But we keep it simple in DHL Express. It is a simple word, and if you say something, you do it. You've got to be good to your word and good to the philosophies and the guiding principles of DHL Express, and then you'll be trusted. So it's a big part of what we do. It's a big part of the Great Place to Work philosophy, and that's why we're so highly leveraged on trust, from reducing sick days, people going the extra mile, whatever it may be.
Okay. And Regine, as you look forward to 2021 in this uncertain world, are there any things that you'll be particularly focused on moving into 2021? Based on your experience in 2020 and the needs of your customers and the people at DHL?
I mean, only if we have happy people, we will have happy customers. So therefore, COVID is not gone. And I think in the next few months, we will still need to manage it, in a different way. So therefore, for me, for us, the most important topic is keep and make sure that our people are safe, and as soon as we have support and give them the medical treatment they need, this is very important. And as soon as we have the possibility to get a vaccination, whatever we can do to get it for our people, yes, we would like to do it. This is the most important thing for us, to keep our people safe. So the second topic is, I mean, you learn also a lot. John said it. You learn a lot in this challenging time. You learn a lot what will change in the future, and what can you get positive out of this challenging time. And one topic, and we partnered for it, is this future work. How much mobile work do we want to have in the future, right? And we had the survey together. So thanks for your support. We really got with this great results what our people think. So, and based on this, we created now a kind of guidance what our future work should look like. Gives the people more mobility, gives the people more flexibility, and this is also how you can attract then different people to our organization. So it was a great experience. The project was a great experience, but also how we manage it during COVID. So this is the second priority after COVID, that we implement this mobile and flexible work arrangement. And the third priority is about more digitalization. I think you get a more buy-in now for all the digitalization projects. So where people were maybe afraid before, now they take it out as opportunity because they realize that digitalization will help us when we have to manage other difficulties in the future, and always we need to manage something which is unpredictable. So this is the next thing. So how to communicate with our employees. We organize then this digital, for example, this digital employee app. So this is a nice thing to do, and we have rolled it out now already in 100 countries. And then for our leaders also how to lead in this hybrid environment. It's also not easy because it's different, and we have big part of our people who cannot work in a mobile work environment. So you have to manage, let me say, all the different requests also from the people and find the right balance to motivate them and act as one. Only to mention a few priorities.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Regine. And John, as you sit in the seat that you do with your team, again, looking at the world and your experience of being a global leader, meaning actually able to see how the world works, how human beings can connect and be connected to one, all politics aside, just simply the things that make us so similar around the world, and that we all want the same things, for our families and our communities. So, can you just talk a little bit about free trade and about what you've seen and the benefits from your experience, which is unique. Your viewpoint and what you've seen is unique. Many of us don't have the opportunity to actually see what happens when the world is working in one manner. Not only is this good for DHL, but I've heard you speak about it before. I'd like you to share that with our audience.
Yeah, well, that's a topic I'm very passionate about, trade and globalization. And as they say, no passion, no point. So we have a lot of passion for that. Why am I passionate about it? I just so firmly believe that a globalized world and a world full of trade drives economic prosperity. It drives education. It's been statistically proven that the salaries of frontline workers in countries that are more connected with other countries are paid more. During the pandemic, there's no doubt that companies with a global footprint survived and prevailed and fared better than companies with just one country operation. And as Jack Ma, I think, from Alibaba said, when trade stops, war starts. And I think it sounds dramatic, but peace and harmony and countries getting on with other countries is something that we came to take it for granted, and over the last few years it's been a little bit less the case. So countries trading with others, as we have a tagline in DHL, we're the experts in exports. That's just a simple statement that we like moving things from country to country, and we know when we do move things from country to country, whether it's ventilators in the pandemic, whether it's PPE, or whether it's e-commerce, there's a smile or relief at the other end of the delivery chain when something is delivered. So that purpose statement we have of connecting people and improving lives is more important than ever. As you know, Michael, we strive to be, we try and be a great place to work for all our people. And I'll go on record here as saying that is not an unrealistic goal. Well, I, from my chair, or Regine from hers, can't know that 110,000 people are happy every day, but every single one of those people has a boss, and their boss should know whether their team is happy. So that's not an unrealistic goal. But likewise, we're for all our customers. As you said, ain't no mountain high enough. That's what we strive to be for all our customers, small, medium, and large, in high tech, in automotive, in engineering, in manufacturing, in oil and gas, in retail, and in every country in the planet. So if we can do our bit to help trade, to help countries become more globally connected, then things will just get better and better, and no one can convince me that a more globalized world is not a better world.
Okay.
And may I add something?
Yes.
When you see our people, we are in every country in this world with all the different cultures, with all the different language, with all the different religions. And we act as one, and then it shows that for all is possible. And I'm so proud that this is the strength of this company. And the company, you know, when you work with all these different cultures, you can learn so much, and it is such a great experience every single day. And this makes us so proud to be part of this company.
Yes.
Well said. Yeah, well said.
It's beautifully said, and you know it's just a perfect, you know, DHL people innovate every day. It's part of you getting the job done. You do it every day, all around the world. You know, with the differences that you mentioned, but the purpose, the common purpose, you know, and belief in people and in equity and fairness pulls your people together. I've seen the passion of your people, you know, that you'll do the double tap, and I see it around the world on LinkedIn. You know, everybody in the company gets on board, and because the team is that united and committed to one another. It's a perfect example. Also, looking at the financial performance, you know, we haven't talked about money, but money's a good thing. It matters. And so it's great for us to just reinforce one more time that you can put people first and be purpose driven and do great business. It's not a trade-off. Some people think it's a trade-off. You're a perfect example of that, and we want the world to know about that too. As we say, being a great place to work for all is better for business, better for people, and better for the world. So it's indeed true for all those things. John, you know, just final question. With all you've seen, you know, with all that you do, which is well documented, as you look forward, are you optimistic for 2021 and going beyond?
I'm very optimistic, and I tell you why. You know, well, let me say it differently first, and then I'll tell you why. I think, you know, I often get asked, and this is partly my answer, I often get asked what I'm worried about, you know, at the minute. And honestly, I don't have too many worries. And I'll tell you exactly why I say that. When I look back, you know, I've been in DHL 35 years, but if I just look back at the last, you know, decade or a bit more, we got through the financial crisis in 08, 09. It was difficult for just about every company on the planet, and everyone did a great job of doing their best and reacting and getting through it. And we got through that. We got through the ash cloud in 2014, where there wasn't one plane in the sky over Europe for the best part of 2 or 3 weeks. In fact, the only planes that were flying, because we were given permission, were DHL. That was very difficult. It's easy to forget, but people were getting flights from America to Spain and then getting 10-hour car journeys. And now we've got through, but there's still a lot of water to go under this bridge, this pandemic. And when I think that our people got us through this pandemic, I say, look, there's nothing that people can throw at us, things can throw at us, anything that can throw at us that our people won't help us get through. And when you know that you have an engaged employee base of 110,000 great, smiling people, all with stories to tell, and all who can teach Regine and I so much, you start to think, wow, I don't want bad news. I don't want unfortunate circumstances. But as Ken used to say, hey, John, we're a global company. There's a crisis every day. And he's right, there is something. So I don't worry too much. I'm enormously optimistic. You know, why? For one reason is that we're on the cusp of getting involved in the distribution of vaccines. As I sit here today, I can say that that is just around the corner, and that's why I'm so optimistic that sometimes, you know, when people make New Year's resolutions, why? It's January 1, it's a new dawn, it's a special dawn, it's no different to any other dawn, but there's the symbolism of a new calendar year in the Western world, and that means so much to people. And I know that everyone will go into it feeling proud that their kids got through it, that they helped others get through it, because same storm, different boat. We have to look over our left shoulder and our right shoulder and make sure that we're bringing people along, because absolutely not everyone is getting through this in the same way. Not everyone is as fortunate. People that have a trade fair business, they're not as fortunate right now. Things are very difficult, and we need to do all we can to help in those type of situations.
Okay. Well, DHL's got a big heart, so I know you do that too. And it's great to see the Golden Gate Bridge over your shoulder, even though I know you're both in Bonn, Germany. That is just about 7 miles from where I'm sitting right now, and I look forward to seeing you both during 2021. Hopefully, we'll be on the other side. We won't have to be socially distant. I can't wait to hug you both at some point, and hopefully that'll happen before the end of 2020. Yeah, it probably will be like that. You're probably right. I'll probably have to.
I like the face, and I like hugging. Not now, but time will come.
We'll virtually do it for now. And to our viewing audience, thank you for spending time with us today and learning from these two great leaders. I know there's plenty of notes that you took. If there's more that you'd like to find out about what we're talking about, please send me an email at michael_bush@greatplacetowork.com, and we'll get you responses to your questions and make the connections that you need to help make your organization a great place to work for all. So best to everyone, regardless of what you might be celebrating over the next couple of months. Take care of you and yours. We all send you our best from Great Place to Work and from DHL Express.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you.